So about a week or two ago, I had seen a video made by a young woman named Willow Smith. Now, for most of the people who are living under a rock and don't know who she is the daughter of Will Smith, actor and I guess rapper too. And so she made a video on the fact that relationships are not necessarily the same anymore. Men are no longer approaching women the same way they used to. Several years ago, where they would go to a woman and ask them, would you like to go on a date?
Am I just delusional, or people asking other people out on dates is kind of like old school? Like, the last time, I don't even remember the last time someone was like, hey, would you want to go on a date with me? Like, I'm gonna start saying it again. Okay, yeah, people still hang out in a romantic way, obviously, but like, to explicitly ask someone out on a date and use those specific words, especially someone that you don't really know that well, like, that's like a different kind of thing. Like, would you want to go out on a date with me? Like, when was the last time someone asked you that?
Now, the issue that I have with this is that I'm more than sure she's gone on several dates, and that's what formed this opinion. But I think she's missing out on half of the conversation here. And that's what men think. Men are constantly seeing, especially around my age, we see it all the time. The bad boys, or the men that are not necessarily on the straight and narrow pathway, or getting with women, getting access to their bodies, their emotions. They're just getting everything from a woman, including her loyalty. And we see that from a lot of, younger men who are not on the straight and narrow, who are not doing things that they're supposed to be doing with these women. And we think to ourselves, why would we approach a woman a certain way or have a certain mindset when dealing with women, when we see other men succeeding when they put in less effort than us? And they get the experience, the full being of a woman before a man that has his stuff together, that is trying hard to become a better man before him. What good is a woman that has already had her fun and slept around with a bunch of guys to me when I put in the hard work to become the best version of myself, and now you want to settle down and find the right man? That's what a lot of men around my age, or men that are possibly older, are thinking to themselves. There are men that are putting in less effort into relationships, yet they still end up getting in relationships with these women. And they get their undying loyalty, their love emotionally. And to put it simply and quickly, men are just getting tired of seeing other men succeed while they put in less effort with women. And then when it comes to them, they have to be this, that, and the third. They have to hit a certain criteria. But I also think it's about how times have changed. The idea of marriage and what is looked for in a relationship isn't necessarily the same anymore. You have a bunch of people who are in relationships or even marriages, cheating on each other, sleeping around. People just openly sharing online, how, they slept around while they were in a relationship with somebody. And it's just not something that is appeasing for somebody that actually wants to be in a relationship. And that goes both ways for women and men. There are men and women, both sides really, that are looking for an actual relationship. But there's so many scenarios that you can find online, which is another aspect of it, but I'll get to that in a second. But there's so many aspects of, so many scenarios of people online just mistreating each other, and it kind of has affected the outlook on what a relationship should actually be, a healthy relationship between a man and a woman.
Do not touch me or you'll be going to the police.
Don't take a picture of me.
You are a fucking cheater.
Are you literally gonna let that happen?
Look what you did to him. You just married him. You me on your goddamn wedding week.
I didn't.
You are disgusting.
No, I didn't.
Oh, we didn't at Aunt Jill's house, was it?
No.
I have proof. I have text messages. I have proof. If you lay a finger on me, you're going to jail. Okay? You are disgusting.
The whole issue that is showing up in social media is that there's so many people highlighting what a relationship is supposed to be. So many people have so many ideas, and those ideas don't necessarily need to be shared. You know, some of those are like, you know, a far outcry from what an actual relationship should look like. You got people saying, if you ain't doing this, you ain't no man. If you ain't doing this, you ain't no woman. And so when we look at videos like that, and you got people in the comments like, yes, you're so right, and agreeing with what they're saying, it kind of messes with the people's mindsets. You know, social media plays such an important part in how people function, the trends, behaviors, things of that nature. And we can look at the past and see that relationships aren't what they used to be. You know, marriage rates are going down, divorce rates are going up. It just isn't the same, especially in the Black community. And, you know, we always like complain about what's going on inside of our communities and why there's so many problems, but that's one of them. Another thing that we have to look at as well is the encouragement of hookup culture. Basically, sleep with 100,000 different people to live your best life.
What's your thoughts on one night stands? Let everybody know.
I love it. I love it.
Tell the camera.
I love one night stands.
Why?
I think they should be normalized because why not?
I actually appreciate a little like relationship stuff, but not really one night stands. But,
I hate it. I hate it all.
They happen though.
Instead of focusing on, as a man, focusing on your career and becoming the best version of yourself so that you can become a more suitable and compatible man for a woman when you eventually experience your peak. And for women, becoming, you know, feminine, becoming the best qualities of that, you know, watching how your mother is or whatever good woman role model they have in their lives, and making strong strategic choices when it comes to picking men. And this is why men being in the household is so important for both men and women, so that men can understand discipline and responsibility, and women can understand what to look for when choosing a man. Because when we leave them to their own devices, for the most part, not saying everybody, they end up choosing men that are not necessarily the best for them. You know, the man that makes them feel excited, that's really fun. You know, it might be fun for that little while, but eventually it'll become something worse, you know? So, you know, I've seen it for myself. Plenty of people around me have seen it. There's just division in what, you know, used to be a happy thing within our society. You know, a man and woman coming together, starting a relationship with the means of eventually, you know, getting married and then afterwards having children. It's all just different now. You know, you see a bunch of children walking around with no union within the families. You know, something my parents have constantly told me is, if you're going to have children, you better make sure that you're married first. Might make some mistakes and stuff down the road, but that's one thing that you should not be willing to compromise. Have children after you get married. And so if a lot of people had that mindset, a lot of the issues we have within our families or within our communities would be resolved. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to leave your comments down below if you have your own stories. And, you know, just share what you believe. With that, thank you. Make sure to stay safe.